We can just chit chat.
I'm sorry, say again?
I said, there ain't nobody chit chat. Oh, we sit here and chit chat for a bit. Ain't nobody here yet.
Okay.
No. Get in there. Get in there, lay down.
Should I guess when we get going, I'll have to turn the sound down on that phone. Am I going to get feedback?
Yeah. So how was that storm Monday or Tuesday? Get in there and lay down. What's up, Skinner? What's up, Skinner? What's up, Skinner?
Yeah, let me turn the one. Well, I guess I'm gonna turn
Myers.
down this one. Right.
I guess I'm
There we go. I got this phone set up over here, so.
Yeah, that's what I got. I got my iPad sitting beside my laptop over here so I can see the chat too. How's it going, Myers? Wait for a few more people to come in here. How were them storms Monday that y'all had?
So they were pretty bad actually. So we have a basement. It's not fully underground. It's underground in the front, underground in the front and backyard. It's that's like the ground level. And we had probably about 2.5, 3 inches of rain in about 10 minutes. Our pavers were completely so I'm looking at the wrong phone. Our pavers were completely covered.
Wow.
We'd never had a flood before, but it was starting to get up to about where the sliding glass door was. So, but about 10 minutes after we got done messaging, it stopped, and it never did come back. My girlfriend, she doesn't live. She only lives a couple miles. We only live a couple miles away from where she works at. She'll normally walk or ride her bike in, so she actually could have made it home, but I guess it's like one of those better be safe than sorry type things.
Exactly. Myers, have you got a team with you? Hey, they're up in Kentucky getting ready to investigate Octagon Hall. And see, I tried to get into it, and they won't let nobody in there unless you're have been a team for up to 2 years.
See, I got like that. I'm not gonna be able to read the comments. I thought it would have been easier to put the phone up there.
We have 13 others. Because they told us that they would verify if we had been a team for 2 years or not.
Myers Paranormal, is that led by Christy Myers?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because I was trying to I had like 10 people ready to go to Octagon Hall, and we checked into it, and they told us that we had to be a team for no less than 2 years, and they would verify.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only way you can get around that is maybe.
Yeah, you got to be. It's who you know.
Have a team that was, together for 2 years and have them as an add-on.
Yeah.
That
we got in with the owner's lifelong friends. That's how we got in. See, I don't go for that. If you're going to set rules, then you need to set them for everybody. I don't care if you know somebody, even if it's your parents.
I mean, I agree that the rules should be the same for everyone, but I think with that being said, all of us has probably benefited at one time or the other from knowing a guy, maybe. So
Yeah.
I guess you gotta kind of take the good with the bad and just roll with the punches.
It's a fundraiser thing too. Well, hey man, kudos for you for getting in to do that place.
Let me see if I can turn my volume up a little bit.
And I need to turn my volume down on the TV too.
Oh, I think.
Yeah, man. There's twice that I tried to get in on it. Once was last year, and everybody backed out. And then I tried to get in. I had 10 people ready to go. And like I said, we checked into it and they've changed the rules. You have to be a team for at least 2 years and they will verify that you've been a team or not. So that canceled that one too.
Yeah, that sucks when you get people to say they want to go. And then, something like that happens. Like we normally, we split the cost, per person.
Yeah.
And sometimes you buy in, but sometimes everybody can't make it. You can't always reschedule, so we kind of try to be upfront with that as much as we can. But yeah,
Right.
As far as not letting people, come in, I guess unless you're been a organized team for 2 years. I mean, I kind of get where they're coming from, but at the same time,
Well, it's like Myers. It's like Meyer said too. A lot of people go in there and they're either stealing stuff or they're damaging property, and people are getting strict.
Well, that's another thing too. I mean, it only takes a couple bad apples, to ruin the bunch for everyone. I mean,
Yeah.
some people will go in and vandalize. Some people will go in and try to find souvenirs or keepsakes, steal. I mean,
All right.
that's kind of why the field is the way it is. I mean, certain people don't want to be associated with certain people for certain behaviors.
Yep.
So,
Like if you, I'm not gonna say fake, but if you do your content for entertainment purposes only, you got some people that don't want nothing to do with that end of, because they're all about trying to, like what me and you do. We're, in Myers, we're trying to find out answers. We're trying to communicate with, we're not trying to stage stuff.
well, no, I mean, I've never really got that myself. I mean, fortunately for us, we wouldn't do it anyways, but we've never really had to. I mean, turning on a digital voice recorder and asking questions, trying to get EVPs. It's not one of the hardest things in the world to accomplish. So
Yeah.
why some feel the need to fake, it's beyond me. But
well, I will give some of the bigger YouTubers, because at the beginning of their video, they do say, I do this for your entertainment purpose needs, so.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's all, you got to kind of, whenever you see footage anyways, I mean, without being there yourself to experience it firsthand, you've got to kind of, give them a certain amount of, I guess, leeway, like you got to assume that they were there with the amount of people they said were there. And a lot of these things, they can be backed up too. If you call the places, that you're going to, if you probably call up, I'm sure they could verify, yeah, we had this X amount of team, this team here on this night, X amount of people. But I mean, I don't know why people fake stuff. I mean,
yeah, I'm like Myers. If I had, man, well, to be honest, I couldn't fake something if I tried.
I mean,
people,
I'm sure you could if you tried, but like at the same time, like people, we all watch this stuff. We all kind of know what to expect. I mean, at some point, if you do fake stuff, you're probably going to get called out for it and called in the first place. So,
Yeah.
stay legit from the get go.
So,
If we
what kind of equipment do you have that you use?
To be honest with you, I mean, we have acquired probably more than half of every piece of equipment on the market. With that being said, a lot of it we actually rarely use. Most of the time, we go in with the same things. We'll go in with a couple ghost boxes or digital voice recorders.
Yeah.
As far as recording like video, we do a lot of stuff straight off our phone. We do have some full spectrum and night vision cameras we use, but mainly it's ghost box, digital voice recorder, the Mel meter, and maybe dowsing rods. We have all the REM pods and the music boxes and all that stuff, but really those things you have a lot of false positives. So
yeah, I tried to use the dowsing rods, but my hands are not steady enough to use them.
Yeah, it's hard. We've been trying to use different techniques where you kind of aren't holding them out so much in front of you. You're kind of holding them in on your body.
Yeah.
But even when you're breathing, so like there's always gonna be some type of minor movement. I mean, unless you're gonna build something and stake it to the ground, and like clamp your dowsing rods in there, there's gonna be some type of little human interaction.
Right.
I think that if you tried to do it without the human interaction, I don't think it would work.
No, because you got to have that energy.
That's kind of the school we subscribe to, that train of thought. Like I think they do need our energy to help manifest and help manipulate devices, communicate, show themselves on the rare occasion you actually.
I've heard people that have been using those for like years and years and years, that they say once your energy is attached to those dowsing rods, that you shouldn't let other people hold them to use them. I mean, what's your theory on that?
I've never heard that. I don't know how accurate that is. I mean, we have dowsing rods, and I let my girlfriend use them sometimes when we're like during a public event, if it's something we're leading and there's somebody there that wants to try, and we're always free to let them try. We haven't had any uptick or decrease in the way they use they use them, or the activity or anything, but I've heard similar things with ghost boxes. They say once a person gets a ghost box, like they're the ones that pretty much should be asking all the questions. And you do kind of, it does seem to be a connection being made. As hard as that can be to believe for an inanimate object, but
yeah.
But yeah, we mainly use ghost boxes, dowsing rods.
I just got a new piece of equipment last week, the SB7, the spirit box.
Okay.
And so I'm excited to try that. I would have tried it yesterday or today but I'm dog sitting for my son, so I ain't never been able to get out to do anything. Okay. But I'm excited to try it. My next piece is going to be an EVP recorder.
Right on. Yeah, we don't have SB7 ourselves. We have the S box. We have SB11. Generally speaking, I mean, I don't want to say they're all the same, but they work off the same basic theory. They're sweeping the radio stations. I know they have a couple different revisions of the SB7. I think. You know what version yours is by any chance?
It's not the one that's got the light on top of it or in front of it on the speaker part of it. To let you know that the temperature change or whatever. This is it's a little more of the cheaper one, just a basic
Just a basic spirit box. I think I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, it doesn't have the.
Yeah, because some of them don't have that temperature light on it, and some of them do.
Okay. I mean, for what you're using it for, as far as like getting communication, I mean that.
Yeah.
It's
Hey,
nice to
Erica,
have
crazy
the
girl.
bells and whistles, but it ain't necessary. And
Yeah.
by the way, hello to everyone on the chat. I've been trying to look down here and keep up with everybody. Hello, if I missed you, I'm sorry. I think Adrian was in there. Let's see, Jules, Happy Palace for Dogs. That's awesome.
Well, most of the time I use the app, either the Necrophonic or the Ghost Tube Vox. Sometimes I'll use the Miracle Box.
Yeah, we have we have the Necrophonic. We have the one that you're talking about, the box with the Ghost Tube app.
Yeah.
The other one I've never heard of, but
the Miracle Box. It's weird to get used to, because what it does is it'll play sounds backwards, and then
okay.
whatever comes out, like it'll say like refrigerator, but it says it backwards. But if it says it forwards, then you know that the spirit has manipulated that to talk. It doesn't have it doesn't have a word bank in it, just like the Vox doesn't. The Vox don't have one either.
Yeah, I've seen a couple other builders. They have ghost boxes that use the reverse speech. So like you said, if it does come through forward, it is definitely paranormal. But yeah, that's pretty cool. You have to send me the link for that. I've never heard of that one in particular.
And what I like about it is if you go to a place where where an older women or older men have passed, you can use that. They've got a selection like older aged women, middle aged women, child, older men, middle aged men, young boy, young girl. I mean, they've got where you can pick it.
Oh, I see, where you can like manipulate the response to be like an older man or child or whatever.
Yeah, like if say like you go to a Brushy Mountain, that place was full of men, so you would use the older man, and see if you could get a reaction, or you would go to a middle aged man.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is personally. If I was in prison, I'd probably speak more to a woman. But yeah, I guess you get used to them while you're in there.
Raves, I'm only 21. But yeah, I've got like the cat balls. I've got one mini REM pod. I've got 2 K2 meters. I got 2 cameras, and both of them have night vision on them. But I've got the bigger night vision to put on. It's Andor. It's got like 20 something LED lights to it. It's a lot. I think I sent you
the infrared light source. Yeah, I don't think you did send the link for that.
But I went to one. It was smaller. It just had the 2 rows of LEDs, and you could use one or both. That one is good for inside of a place like a house or a small building. But once you get outside, the darkness is so dense it doesn't do nothing for it. So I had to get a bigger one.
Yeah, when you're not in a house and there's no walls or anything, especially white, for it to reflect off of. Yeah, you go outside, you need a much more powerful source to still be able to see.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Hello, crazy oddities and adventures. Sorry, guys, I'm not able to keep up with the.
Bootsy, what's up?
Yeah, I was hoping one of these days we'd be able to get together. I was hoping you'd be able to come down to Sweet Springs with us. We have to make something happen, even if it's out your way sometime next year.
Yeah, I'm definitely. We need to get together and definitely go to Scotts County Historic Jail. It's in Huntsville. It's up in East Tennessee. It's about 4 hours away from me.
Okay.
That place is extremely active. You have to sign a waiver when you go in, I think.
Yeah, a lot of places want you to sign a waiver, because I don't know what their waivers for. A lot of the places are old.
Brushy Mountain, when we went to Brushy Mountain, we had to sign a waiver.
Yeah, they make you sign a waiver at Sweet Springs. They make you sign a waiver at Penhurst. Pretty much everywhere you go, they want you to basically, no matter what happens, not try to hold them responsible. So
right.
That's pretty much standard practice. We don't even read them half the time. We just go in there, okay, sign down the dotted line. Let's in. Here's
Exactly. Because you got so much time to investigate, and their tours are, depending on where you at. The tour that we took up in Brushy was probably like 20 or 30 minutes long, and so that cuts out on your time.
Yeah, 20 or 30 minutes ain't bad. Some places the tour is seriously long.
Yeah,
that's what at Sweet Springs they give you the option when you get there. They say you want the tour, or you just want to go get it. And once you sign your waivers, if you don't want the tour, you're free to go.
Right.
Other places you can ask for that. They don't always let you do it, but yeah, I don't. We like the tours. For the first time, if you've never been to the place, you go there. It's nice to learn a little bit about the history aside from the paranormal stuff. But once you've been there 2 or 3 times, it's like,
yeah, you don't really need it.
Nice, but we came here to hunt. We want to investigate. So we normally try to skip them whenever possible.
Yeah. Well, let's get into. I want to show everybody what you guys do on some of your investigation. I don't know if you do it on all of them or not, but it's called the human pendulum. I wanted to show a little bit of this. Hold on. It's going to take me a little bit here to.
Very good. Which one do you plan? Are you starting from the bottom or?
This one is done 4 months ago. It's the Human Pendulum Ghost Box session at Quaker Hall.
Okay. And that's Quaker Hall. That's the Quaker building, Penhurst, in Spring City, Pennsylvania.
In the Human Pendulum.
It's actually called
Good
Penhurst.
spirits are allowed to communicate through Edwin.
For the home ball.
At this time, can you show us Edwin's?
Can you guys hear it all right?
Thank you. You're going to call him out too, Chess.
I can hear it, but we can't see it.
No position.
Oh, you can't see it?
No, it's just me and you up here right now.
Can everybody see it?
Well, it might be a delay. It might be because I'm looking at it on the show. There it is.
Probably.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. I'll be quiet. You can go ahead and start it, Sam. I have no delay on my side.
Do you recall seeing Edwin here before? Are you sure? Have you seen Edwin here before? Shake it off. Shake it off, Edwin. I'm going to ask you again. Have you seen this gentleman here before today?
No.
Do you like the energy that Edwin's putting off?
No.
Are you telling me the truth? I'm asking you if you like the energy that Edwin's putting off. Do you not like the energy Edwin's putting off?
No.
Do you think Edwin's a religious young man?
No.
Are you telling me the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm going to stop this for just a minute and ask you a question.
Did you guys, everyone up here too?
Wait a minute. Where'd it go? Oh.
Nothing in there.
When you get ready to do the human pendulum, do you have to put your mind in some kind of like like, do you have to like meditate while you're doing this, or do you just completely, just focus, just put everything out of your mind and just go blank, or how does that work?
So actually, I've never been the pendulum. I'm usually a participant on the outside to catch and observe, or the ones that ask questions. So I can't really. I don't think there's any type of trance-like state or anything. You just really gotta keep still. You want to concentrate on a certain place on the wall or ceiling, and you just kind of you don't want to close your eyes. You want to make sure to keep your eyes open, and we set it up and we open the circle, and it just starts going. I mean, there's no meditation. There's no type of setup. I mean, um, I see somebody was saying if I could stop talking. I'm sorry, there was a delay. I couldn't see it on my side, but yeah, there's no special setup. You just want to make sure you open the circle and then you close the circle, not like the way you would at Ouija board. You don't want to just stop asking all your questions and everybody disperse.
Okay, so basically y'all open it and you just focus your eyes on one area and just let it go, huh?
Right, and the only thing you really want to do is the pendulum themselves should be the one asking questions. I guess there might be some type of concentration that goes into it, but basically, the people in the circle or people outside of the circle are the ones that are supposed to ask the questions. The pendulum is supposed to just basically remain neutral and just kind of let the spirit manipulate the body.
Yeah, so they're basically there to more or less help, catch them so they don't hit the ground and stuff.
Right, that's what the 4 people on the outside are for. Basically, set up like a trust fall, and we ask for the yes position and then the no position. A lot of times that's forward and backwards or left and right, but we've seen every different combination. Sometimes left is the yes answer, sometimes backwards is the no answer. But yeah, that's it. And then you start asking open-ended questions.
So do you kind of let the spirit judge on what they want to use as, like, forward is no or forward is yes, or vice versa?
Yes. So like if you watch the beginning of each one of those videos, after I open the circle, I'll ask the spirit to show the yes position, and then again to show the no position. And the person I have in the front watching the pendulum, they're normally the ones that call out the answers.
Right. Okay. Well, let's get back into it there. And
okay,
I think this is a different one.
You go up here, Christy, on one side. Evan, you're going to have to come up here too, on the other side of Christy.
This right here is where you are just setting it up.
So this is basically a trust fall, Once you guys get in a square, all right, you guys need to shift. Chastity, come to your right a little bit so I can see Michelle. Come a little bit more to your right. Okay, now make everybody else shift. Good. There you go. Go a little bit more, Christy, around. All right. So face Chastity, baby. So Edwin, what we're doing here is a trust fall. She's going to be manipulated by the spirits. So if she comes your way, just catch her. If you feel scared or if you want to stop at any time, you got to let me know and make sure I shut down the circle before you disperse. Ready? So tonight we have Michelle and the human pendulum. Only good spirits are allowed to communicate through her. And at this time, the circle is now open. At this time, can you show us Michelle's yes position? Thank you. At this time, can you show me Michelle's no position? Thank you. So do you understand the rules, Spirit? Was that a yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Do you remember us here before, Spirit?
Yes.
Thank you. Shake it off. Are we speaking with the spirit that identifies as Skippy?
No. Strongly no.
Boy, it really took her forward.
Are you telling me the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Are we communicating with a male? Are we communicating with a male spirit?
Yes.
Thank you. Have we communicated with you in this way before?
Yes.
Thank you. Are you telling us the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. We have a box over here. I'm going to ask the lady to step away for a second so she can fix the box, okay? Are you still with me, Spirit? Thank you. So there's a lady behind me that's got a box. Thank you. Are you looking at this? Okay. I'm going to let the lady back in, okay? Thank you. So you can communicate verbally through the box that's over here behind. It's got blue lights on it, sitting on the trash can. So do you enjoy the company now the building's been open? Thank you. Have you been waiting for this building to open? Are you telling me the truth? Thank you. Spirit, I'm going to ask you, wait till I ask the questions first, please, okay? Thank you. Do you enjoy this method of communication?
Yes.
Does this method of communication require a lot of power?
Yes.
Thank you. You know that we all can lend you some power if you need it, correct?
Yes.
Thank you. Can you tell us how many living people are in this room?
No. No.
Do you know what a living person is? Are you telling me the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Do you know how to count?
Yes.
Thank you. So when I ask you how many living people in this room, can you tell us the number, please?
Yes.
Thank you. Are there 47 living people in this room?
No. Strongly no.
Now, when I ask you the number, only want the number if it's exact or under. I don't want anything over, okay? Thank you. Was that you that I just heard move that? Thank you. Is there another person here you'd like to communicate with more? Would you like to have a male in the center?
No.
Would you like to have another female in the circle? Is the other female that you'd like to have in the circle in this room?
No.
Is the other female you want an investigator?
This is absolutely insane. That's awesome.
Was that the end of it? Okay, yeah, I still see the video playing on my end. So I think you were saying that, I think you mentioned that, how pronounced the communication is when
Yeah.
she's in the circle. That's my
Yeah.
girlfriend, Michelle, by the way. And hello, Adrian, if you didn't see me waving. I think The reason for that is when you asked about need to be in a trance-like state. I think as far as your state of mind, I think the most important thing is to be in an open state of mind.
Right.
And I think the reason why, if you see the other videos with other participants, you'll see that they don't always have as pronounced of communication, like a movement. And I think that has to do with how much you're kind of fighting. Like a lot of people, especially on their first times, that you can tell that they're feeling something. They're trying to fight it. Like Michelle, we've done this. That was probably we're probably somewhere around 100 something human pendulum sessions, and she's probably done at least half of them. So
Yeah.
I mean, she's more open to it. But yeah, another thing I was going to say, if you guys noticed, I was referring to that ghost box. One of the things we love to do when we do pendulums, and especially with dowsing rods, is to run the ghost box simultaneously.
Yeah.
From time to time, I mean, nothing ever works out perfect 100% of the time, no matter what you're doing.
Right.
We've had on several occasions where we've asked questions and got the same response in the pendulum and a verbal response to the ghost box simultaneously.
See, that's what I'm talking about right there.
And
that's exactly when you are actually dealing with a spirit.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that can happen that seem paranormal but aren't always necessarily paranormal. And the most important job of anybody who does this, whether you call yourself a researcher, investigator, enthusiast, is to kind of debunk and take away from what the possibilities could be. Because that's why when you're asking about the other devices, that's why we don't always use a lot of the other devices. Not that they're never not paranormal, but they can just be. There's so many different ways to get false positives.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to,
See, I was paying attention to her and how she was standing and her feet and how whenever she moved, you can tell straight off the back that there's no faking that at all whatsoever.
Well,
I mean, because I've seen people fall back on purpose, and the feet, you got to watch their feet movement, because I mean, you can tell when somebody's faking something and when they're not. And you can literally tell, especially when she fell all the way forward and had to grab that other person. There ain't no way.
Yeah, I mean, we've had quite a bit of success with the human pendulum and the ghost box simultaneously. We've had a little bit of success with the dowsing rods and the ghost box, but I mean, we try to take pictures, we try to get video. We're always looking for the full-bodied apparition. We're looking for the shadow figures. But 99% of the time, what you're going to capture is audio. So, like, we pretty much focus on that.
Right.
We have cameras set up. We take pictures. We do the whole 9 yards. But a lot of times, what we get is verbal, and we kind of try to focus on that.
Right. So, how long have y'all been into it?
Michelle and I, as far as we go, we're a 3-piece as far as the team goes. It's my girlfriend Michelle and a friend of ours named Chastity. But as far as Michelle and I, we are rounding out our 4th year. November, it might have been October actually. Late October or early November, we will be rounding out our 4th year.
Right.
So
what got y'all into it? I mean, did a video of somebody watch, that kind of influenced you, or did you have some kind of experience, between the two of you where you just, got interested?
I've had some personal experiences as a child growing up. Not so much myself, but I've witnessed as a child. She's had a couple things happen to her. Since we've moved in together, we've had a number of things happen here. We've always been interested in the paranormal. We've always been, I guess, couch investigators. We used to watch Ghost Hunters and Paranormal State and all the shows. And we always had an interest in it, but we never, we didn't know anybody else that was into it, so we didn't really have anybody to kind of show us the ropes, I guess.
Yeah.
And being in credit card debt had quite a bit to do with it. You know, the paranormal is really expensive. But once we got our bills straightened out, our finances, and started to do better for ourselves, you know, we used to do a lot of the haunted houses around October.
Right.
And we were at Penhurst Asylum at the time. We were doing the haunt. They had 4 attractions. And at the end, you could go through the Mayflower building. It's one of the buildings on campus. It was for housing for the people they had there at the time. And we were going through there, and we, you know, this is up in Philadelphia. We're in Virginia, so we got our hotel and all. We went over there, did the haunt. We were going through the Mayflower building, and she took a couple pictures, and one of the pictures was of me on the 2nd level of Mayflower building, coming away from one of the buildings there, and she got a picture of an orb. And I know there's a lot of debate on orbs in the paranormal community. There's some that believe, there's some that don't.
Right.
We ourselves, like most, we are skeptical until we were given reason not to be.
Right.
I know a lot of orbs captured sometimes can be dust particles, they can be vapor particles, they can be lens flares, they can be insects. So we're aware of you know, what the possibilities are of it actually being real. This one in particular, I felt was real. It had a tail on it like a comet. It had 4 or 5 iridescent colors like purple, blue, green. And the other thing after that, right after she took that picture, she took one more picture of us in the hallway, like a selfie. And her phone completely power drained. She had approximately, I mean, it's been a few years, probably 80 to 85% power on her phone when she took the pictures prior to the power drain.
Right.
And, you know, we thought that was weird. We got back to the hotel and we charged her phone back up, and her phone actually, it wouldn't power on for almost a half hour or so after it was plugged in. And once we got the power to come back on, we looked at the pictures and saw, you know, what we thought was an orb. And that was pretty much it. That was what inspired us to kind of start getting out there. We went to a public investigation out in Leesburg. It was called Paxton Manor. It was led by a group. I can't remember what group it was, but that night we didn't seem to capture anything. But you know, since then we've gone on to other places, and every place we went to, I mean, there's been nights where we've been there 8 hours, 9 hours, 12 hours, 18 hours. But we've never walked away from any other investigation after that. We have always managed to capture an EVP of some type, or ITC communication through Ghost Box or Spirit Box. And I mean, you know, once you kind of get that bug in you, I mean, it kind of takes over from there, you know?
Yeah, it does. And I know what you're talking about as far as the power situation. I had an instance where I was in North Carolina, and one of the cameras that I was using as a static cam in another room, I had 6 totally brand new charged batteries. One of the one battery that was in there, it went dead. So I went to check on it, and it was dead. So I went to replace it. That battery was dead. Went through the other 4, and those batteries were dead. But after we left the location and got back to where I was staying at, there was nothing wrong with them. They was fully charged.
We've had stuff like that happen before, not with multiple batteries, but definitely on some batteries. We've had instances where we went home and went to review the pictures, and somehow the memory card was corrupt. We've had quite a few different technical difficulties.
Yeah.
It seems like it was definitely paranormal related. With our first trip to Sweet Springs, all of our video, not one bit of it had any audio. Nothing. The only audio we got from Sweet Springs was from the digital voice recorders.
Now, I had a situation where I done Voodoo Cemetery over here, and I had that similar thing happen. I filmed it. I spent 45 minutes to an hour out there filming it and got back home. And there was audio, but the video was just froze. It went through the intro fine. And then when I started, doing my investigation, it just froze. There was nothing else to it, but there was all audio there.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like when the spirits don't want to be seen, they're not going to be seen, and if they don't want to be heard, they're not going to be heard. So
Exactly.
we're
Is
we're
there
not
another
equipment expert?
right? Exactly.
So go ahead.
If you had one video to pick out that would probably be you consider your best one that y'all have done, which would it be?
Our best videos are actually not out anywhere. We have not put them on YouTube. We have not put them on Facebook. Unfortunately, we shared some of this evidence with the group we were with that night, and they have gone on to put it on their own social media platform as their own original evidence.
Right.
As far as what we have published, I would probably say the most recent one we put it up today. It was in the chapel. That was a trimmed video from our YouTube live in June. It's only 3 minutes long, and there's multiple intelligent responses to the questions we were asked.
All right, well, let's show it real quick.
And if you guys ever do look at any of our other videos, if you go to the description area, we are starting to go through and call out all the communications, and we have them hyperlinked. So we encourage you to watch it in full length, and then if you go back, you can press the hyperlink times, and it'll take you straight to everything that's called out there. Yeah, if you want to go ahead and show.
Is this EVPs caught in the chapel at Sweet Spring Sanitarium?
No, this is Moundsville Penitentiary, the chapel at Moundsville Penitentiary. It's the one I just put up today. It should say multiple intelligent responses.
Let's see. I may have to go back and click on your channel again.
The thumbnail, it just says chapel on the outside. It's a white background, black letters.
Moundsville, 3 minutes and 30 seconds. That's it.
Yep, that's it.
This time we're going to give this a try from the chapel. Yes. Are you sure? Upstairs right here, but we need to go to this door. Right here. Put your box up there. Outside. Over here. Just top the bottom one is open.
Is that the connection?
Yeah. You want to go on?
What's the date on this chapel?
Adrian, thank you. You're back. You're going number one fan.
I guess it was built after they got the walls of the prison up. I would assume.
What was it? I'm sorry, I didn't pause it. How would you say it was?
I don't actually know the date. I'm just I know that they had the prisoners build the prison actually as it was going, but I would assume they probably built the main 4 walls and the cells for that time. I think I can't honestly remember. We go to so many different places and start thinking
Right.
about the history.
Yeah.
It kind of runs together.
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. How about you? How are you doing? So we're going to try, you got your digital voice recorder ready? We're going to try another ghost box session here. Are you doing great? That's good.
June 10th, 2023, Chapel, D M Paranormal.
Yeah, it started to happen as soon as that box came on, like literally within a second or 2 seconds.
So, good morning. How are you?
Good. Hallelujah. And, let's see.
My name is Danny, and this is Michelle. You may have seen us here before. We do?
Most people have no clue that in 2023, the best way to make money on Amazon is not with physical products. It's Amazon's other company, Audible. Audible pays.
So did you hear the back and forth stuff?
Go ahead.
Did you hear the back and forth, like the answers to the box
Yeah.
that we had hyped on?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first time we got full sentences. When I asked, when I had said, hello, my name is Danny, this is Michelle. You might have seen us here before. It said, we think we did. I mean, that was a full sentence.
Yeah.
And the after that, it said, it wasn't really so much a response, but it said, you seem nice. That seemed like relative to the response that they just given us. So.
Right. Right. So what other places are you looking at going that you'd like to go to?
Oh shit! There's a lot of places we like to go to. I mean, we've been wanting to get out to Brushy. Come out your way to do Brushy. Old South Pittsburgh's been on our list. We've been waiting to do the Hinsdale House. We'd like to go back to Indiana, the ISS. But as far as we do have a few other lined up, we have. I think the Cabin on 360 in Richmond will be our next investigation. And the following night, there's a investigation at Pamplin Battlefield that is also in the Richmond area. And we have one more lined up in November. We'll be going to the old hospital on College Hill in Williamson, West Virginia.
Right.
But we'll probably have a few more pop up in between there.
Shoot.
You
get something going with Brushy, holler at me. Let me know.
Oh man, if we come out your way, you're going to be the first person we call. We've been waiting to do Brushy. If we do, we'll probably try to do that and Old South Pittsburgh. Normally, when we
Old South Pittsburgh is probably about an hour away from me.
Oh, okay. Well, shit, we'll definitely hit you up on that one.
Yeah. I think that'd be cool. I've been, like I said, I've been to Brushy before, and I got some activity in a few places, but the most activity I got was in D Block. We lit a cigarette up in D Block, and it was gone within minutes. Yeah, I mean it puffed it the whole thing. I mean, 'cause usually when you see somebody smoke a cigarette, how the cherry lights up, and then when they're not, it kind of dims back down.
Oh yeah.
Well, the cherry on the end of that cigarette stayed red the whole time it went down. And after they was done with it, they stopped communicating.
Damn,
K2
that's
stopped
crazy.
going off. The cat ball stopped going off. So he got a cigarette.
That's awesome. Do you have that on film by chance?
Yes, I sure do.
Shit. You have to send me the link that one. I'd like to see that.
It is. I think it's labeled D Block. Let's see. I can drop the link here in the chat. I don't know if you can pick it up on your phone or not and save it or whatnot.
I'll go back through it tonight. The phone that I normally use is the one we're recording off of. I'm looking at another cell phone, but I try to go through the thread.
Yeah. Where are we at here? There it is. Dang, it was down there. I didn't realize it was that. I didn't realize it was that far down.
Sorry about that.
You're good. You're good. There we go. That's the link that I just dropped. It's for the D Block where we caught a spirit smoking a cigarette.
Oh yeah.
Well, is there anything else you want to share?
Not in particularly. I mean, I don't mean to be rude or anything, but
Hey, it's good, bro. Well, if you guys are not subscribed to D M Paranormal, the link is at the top pinned. Go show these guys some love, man. There are 2 videos that you've seen. You know they put in the work, and they're out there doing what the best of us are doing. We're trying to find answers and put them out there for you guys to share or to watch. I think I've seen a couple of other videos that you put out using the human pendulum. It fascinates me every time I watch one.
I mean, you guys should try it. If you next time you're out, you got a group of people, give it a try. I mean, you can. I've heard other teams saying they've done it with as few as 4 people. Like they use I guess like 3 people on the outside and 1 person on the middle is a pendulum.
Right.
But we learned this technique at Waverly Hills, and
Really?
we were on a public event. The guy was telling us, he was like, "Hey man," he's like, we're structured for this part of the night. We're gonna let you guys free roam. And he's like, "But you need to make sure you're back up here at this. I think it was like the 4th level or whatever. At this time, he's like, we're gonna do this experiment. You're gonna want to see this." I'm like, okay. I didn't know the guy. I didn't have any reason to believe him or not believe him, but we went on, did our thing, and we went up there and we watched it. And like I said, I think a lot of the people, the investigators, are skeptics until, like I said, you've been given a reason to believe. And we watched a couple, and it's human nature to wonder about things. If you haven't experienced it yourself, you kind of have no way of judging it. So Michelle asked me if I wanted to do it, and I was like, "No, I don't want to be in the pendulum," and she did it. And sure enough, I mean, it was going off without a hitch. And I could tell by the look in her face that, you know, it was real. She was actually a little bit nervous. We've done these at almost every location we've been to, with every group that we've ever investigated with, and you know, a lot of people like it, but there's some people it really freaks them out. I mean,
Yeah.
there's people we went ghost hunting with that they'll watch them, but they refuse to have anything to do with participating.
Right. So I know how people close out Ouija boards. You know, they say, you know, well, it depends on who you are. Some people say you have to wait for the spirit to say goodbye, and then you say goodbye. Some people just say goodbye. You can't attach yourself to me. So how do you actually close out the human pendulum?
It's pretty similar. You make sure that everybody said their piece, and you don't want to break the circle until you do shut it down. You tell the spirits that are communicating that they don't have a right to attach themselves to the pendulum or anybody involved, and you shut the circle down, and at that time, you know, people are free to disperse. But it's I can see why people think it's fake. I mean, honestly, like when we first did it, we thought it was fake too.
Yeah.
But if you go out there and you do one, I would say if you're a skeptic, or if you are a skeptic, or if you have a skeptic with you, that's probably the quickest way to turn them into a believer.
Yeah. Does anybody in the chat have any questions for Dan before we close this stream out? Yeah, I'd like to hit up Brushy again, and well, I think if you've got because we had a group of 12, right? And I don't think that they was really in certain place they wasn't really all that active, but at D Block was freaking amazing. I'd like to go with a smaller group and just to see what we could, you know, actually get. But then again, it could have been, you know, that night there just wasn't really much going on.
You know, we've had nights where it seemed like it was the greatest night in the world. We've had nights where it seemed like nothing much was going on, and later, after we got back and reviewed the recordings, whatever, it seemed like we did have a little bit more activity than we thought. But that's
Right.
just the way it goes. I mean, there's any given location on any given night to be dead. And
I've been wanting to go to South Pittsburgh ever since I freaking started YouTube.
Yeah, we've had it on our list for a couple of years. We know a few people that have been there. They seem to like it. So
yeah. And another place is and it's up in northeast Tennessee. It's Harriman Hospital.
I think I've heard of that. I think I've heard of that.
That's right up there right in the same town as Brushy Mountain.
So, Crazy Girl Oddities, thank you for coming in tonight and listening to me talk. Looks like your question is, what is the most memorable place you've ever investigated? That would definitely be Penhurst Asylum. That's the name it goes by if you look it up on the internet or whatever, Google. That's the name of the haunted attraction. Like I said, it's actually called Penhurst State School, but the building in particular was a building, the Devon Building, and it was in the basement of Devon Building, and that level is nicknamed Candyland. If you want to go look for videos on that, that was one of our first privates, and we got the eeriest ITC communication we've ever had, and the eeriest EVP we've ever had. Like I said, to this day, we have never put those on social media, but like I said, there was a group out there people that we thought were friends, and you know, we shared it with them because they were there, and you know, years later they decided to put that out on their Instagram channel. So, but we ourselves have not shared that. Sorry.
Now, is Penhurst or is it Waverly? Which one is it that's got the man he's down in the basement? He's like in one of the tunnels where he don't like women too well. He's real nasty.
That sounds like you would be referring to the spirit that they refer to as Skippy in the Rockwell Tunnel.
Yeah.
We have a video of that too, where it was a ghost box session we were doing there. It was on the first public we led. We worked there, like we're not full-time employees. We help out during the seasonal the haunt season to help out lead investigations there. But we do have a video of that on our channel too. And Skippy came through, like I was banging on. You can hear me banging on the door. I'm Skippy, and you'll hear a voice. The first thing you'll hear is, "My name's not Skippy." And
Really?
then I'm like taunting. I'm like, "Skippy, get your ass out here! Come on!" And then you'll hear a female voice saying, "Not good."
Just come out and said not good.
Yeah, that like I said, that video's on there too. That is with our Penhurst ghost box. We have a friend of ours that makes ghost boxes up in Ohio, and he had some wood from the Rockwell building.
Right.
And he used that as the back of our ghost box, and there's a piece on the front. So,
I'd love to have one of those boxes. I just ain't got the money for one right now.
When you get the money and the time is right, let me know. I'll try to introduce you to this guy. And
Well, yeah, we'll talk to it in behind the scenes here.
yeah, but once you get into them, be prepared. It's an addiction. We bought our first ghost box in April 2021, and we have 9 ghost boxes now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's my girlfriend started telling me like 7 and 8. She's like, "This has got to stop, please. Like we got one for every day of the week."
Well, hey, you never know. I mean, they may, react to one better than they do the other. I mean, they were people at one time, so they may like one better than they may want to communicate with it.
Yeah, and each builder's style is a little bit different, and we like to have a little bit of variety. But yeah, when the time is right, let me know, and I'll get you pointed in the right direction.
All right. Well, if nobody else has got any more questions, I'm gonna go ahead and end this stream. Thank you all for coming. I love each and every one of you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing Dan some love. And like I said, if you're not subscribed to his channel, his link is pinned at the top. Go over there, check out his videos, guys. He's got some awesome videos. And with that being said, we will see you guys on the next one.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Adrian. Thank you, Sam, for having me on tonight.
Yes, sir. It was a pleasure.
It was my